We are thrilled to break format when the time is needed, such as when we get the opportunity to welcome onto Annie and Elsten for the first time the head coach of San Diego State football, Sean Lewis, who gets to be on the sideline for the first time in anger, so to speak, taking on Texas A&M Commerce in the home opener tomorrow. Coach Lewis, Craig Elsten, Annie Heilbrunn here. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, Craig, Annie, great to be on with you guys.
Well, how are the feelings now? You've worked for this so long. I'm sure just like anybody going to any kind of opening night, you feel like there's still so many things that you want to touch on in the next 24 hours and make sure everything's lined up properly. But how do those emotions feel as you cascade toward that opening kickoff?
Yeah, I mean, feel great. Feel really excited about the work that the whole program's put in. Especially all the hard work of the kids. And we'll dot the i's, we'll cross the t's, do our last few formation checks and tips and reminders and all the good tests and everything. And looking forward to a great evening tomorrow night in Snapdragon.
Yeah, and you have been running full speed since you were hired by SDSU. It's been amazing to see how much you've been out in the community, how much you've been promoting SDSU football, the public appearances you've made over the past 9 months. What's it been like getting out in the community, and is there anything that's surprised you or stood out to you?
It's been great. This is obviously our new home and want to get embedded within the community and make sure that they get a chance to know myself and our staff. And so, wanted to take advantage of all those opportunities and the buzz and the excitement. I mean, it's been amazing. The way that we've been welcomed, into San Diego, the response of the fans and just the overall excitement, that they have for this change and for this upcoming season.
Coach, I think part of that excitement comes because you bring a brand of excitement with you. There's a lot of Aztec fans that maybe got used to watching some pretty grinded out football the last few years. So let me ask you just a very broad question about Aztec Fast. Someone asked me this morning. Is Aztec Fast a run and shoot? For those of us who know just kind of like the most basic of football parlance in terms of classical offenses, how would you, in an elevator, describe your offense to someone?
Yeah, I guess you would define it as a veer and shoot offense. I mean, the biggest things that the fans are going to see, tomorrow evening is that we love to utilize space and we love to utilize speed, right? So we're going to spread the field from sideline to sideline, have a vertical passing game, a part of what we do. Going to be balanced both run and pass, but we want to create the opportunities wherever we can to get our speed and space and allow our playmakers to do their thing.
Yeah, and at the helm of that will be true freshman Danny O'Neal, your starting quarterback. I read in the paper that through SDSU's 55 years of Division I football, the Aztecs have never opened the season with a true freshman starting quarterback. So I'd love to know, what did he show you? What stood out about Danny O'Neal, and what did he do to earn that honor?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tremendous quarterback competition, really going all the way back to January with all the guys that were in the room, because Danny, AJ, Javance, the three guys that were battling for the starting role, they were all here from day one of winter conditioning through spring practice. And, we really weighed everything that the guys had done through the whole process, of leading up to the season through training camp. And Danny did a great job in terms of, his overall production, his day-to-day process, and his competitive nature. So, obviously lots being made about true freshmen, getting the ball and getting the start, but we got some great supporting pieces around him, and I know everyone's going to play at an elite level so that he can do his piece, and he knows that he doesn't have to do it all on his own, but he's a good facilitator. He's got a good understanding of the offense, and looking forward to helping him have some early success here on Saturday night.
Yeah, you get the opportunity to start against Texas A&M Commerce. Obviously, there's some very challenging games coming up very shortly down the schedule. What are you excited for Aztec fans to see right away? What is something perhaps about the club that you'd like to let them know to be patient about?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's just exciting to have an opportunity to compete, right? I mean, winning's hard. We only get 12 of these opportunities, so we need to maximize each and every single one of them. I would say, fans, hey, don't be surprised by Texas A&M Commerce's record from a year ago. They're more than capable. They're dangerous, and with all the new pieces and places, that we've acquired our talent from, and the new schematic shifts that we've made, I know everyone just wants to flip the light switch and make it happen, right? But there's going to be some growing pains probably a little bit, but there'll be some great moments as well. So settle in, get your popcorn. Obviously, there's going to be a fun brand of football that's going to be played with a lot of changes in all three phases, with us shifting from the 3-3-5 to the 4-2-5, right? And obviously the changes that we're making offensively, but kids that work tremendously hard, they're confident in the plan. We're confident as a staff and looking forward to taking on a pretty challenging Texas A&M Commerce squad.
Yeah, and Coach Lewis, as you build that identity, right, you have some players with you who were with you at your previous coaching jobs. How can they help you build that identity? How can they help spread the message inside the locker room and advocate to the rest of the players what exactly you are trying to do here at SDSU?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just good when you have those shared experiences, right? And that's what's been so great about our time on the Mesa is just, the time on task that we've had, creating our identity, building our culture, and the kids having a greater appreciation and understanding of how we want things done. So when you have people like Marquez Cooper, right, Jay Sean Polk, and Michael Harrison, who were all with me at previous spots, right, they really act as a catalyst to make that happen sooner and to really advocate because they have felt, the effects of the way that we do things and how we do them in a very, very positive way. So, they've been great guys in the locker room. They've been great teammates. And I believe there's a true, buy-in with how we're doing it from our kids and from our staff and looking forward to seeing what that looks like come Saturday night.
We're talking to Sean Lewis, the head football coach of San Diego State Aztecs. And Coach Lewis, everybody along the way that becomes a head coach has had that belief in themselves at some point in the past that you can do that job, that you look at it as an assistant in the past, you aspire to it, and you say, I can be in that position. I can handle that job. Now you get the opportunity to start to have a win and a loss record attached to your name as a head coach. But I'm wondering in these months before you kick off, what about ascending to this position, the CEO of the franchise, so to speak? What about it has surprised you along the way?
I mean, that's many new surprises, right? I mean, I had the opportunity to sit in the head coaching chair for 5 years at Kent State, right? And so, I have taken those lumps, have taken those bumps, taken those bruises, those hard lessons learned. I'm very proud of the scars that I acquired, during my first go around of being a head coach, and obviously the scars that were acquired last year as well. But there's also the joy in those moments, right? And so just want to be constantly learning and growing. We talk to our kids all the time, about our Be the Alpha mindset and mantra, which is to improve and compete today and each and every single day, right? And so I just want to model and live those behaviors as well, right? There's a ton of change that's happening right now in the world of collegiate athletics, right? So I want to pride myself on that. Hey, my rate of learning is greater than that rate of change. And so just keeping up with all the changes that is occurring and the previous experiences that I've had as a head coach, just taking all that knowledge, leaning on the really smart people that we got in the building, the unbelievable staff that we've been able to assemble here, right? And take all of our knowledge and give it to the kids so that they can apply it and then we can continue to move this program, this elite university forward, right? So that we're an innovator in this day and age when it comes to what's going on within collegiate athletics, but excited about the future here on the Mesa and excited to be a part of San Diego State.
Coach Lewis, we talk on this show, we kind of have a humorous bit going about how different college football is now, how it continues to change month to month, right? You got to keep up with it, with the transfer portal, with NIL, with everything going on. What is recruiting like for you, and how have things changed in the last year? What's your strategy as you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a ton that goes into it now with NIL and opportunities, and I think we're positioned in a great spot with Aztec Link and our collective and within our community. Obviously, it's one of the competitive advantages that I feel that we have here at America's finest city, right? With the corporations and the partnerships that we have and the opportunities that are available for our young men, that's obviously a big piece of this puzzle. That was not the case, just a few short years ago. But at the heart of it, when it comes to recruiting and that talent acquisition process, right, it's still just about people and those relationships. So pouring into that, identifying the young men, in whatever talent bucket they're coming from, whether that's, high school ranks, the junior college ranks, or the transfer portal ranks, but building those relationships, making sure that you find the people whose character aligns with yours and whose ethos of what they're about is what you want your program to be about, right? And have those constant communications and really show them how they can be developed and how their time here at San Diego State will be the best experience that they could possibly have, and then we get them here and obviously deliver on those expectations, deliver on those things that we had talked about. And I think that becomes a force multiplier as we establish our identity and as we build our culture to have a championship program and a championship caliber roster year in and year out.
Great question, Andy. Great answer, Coach Lewis, because it's something that's just been really honestly confounding or mystifying to see how many things change. And I was just thinking about, as you were answering, like the work you do as a staff just to go establish relationships with high school coaches, right? To be out there, to be on campus, to have that opportunity to develop those relationships along the way. That used to be everything. And now it still is, but then there's that other level of, okay, here's this kid, just like you said, here's the character, here's the skill set, this is what we want. Okay, but then there's a cost at some point. There's a cost involved. It's just got to be a complicator for you guys that's almost exponential.
Yeah, I mean, it's great opportunity though, right? But it starts with the people and getting to know the people in the community. Obviously, there's tremendous high school football that's being played right outside our back door, right? And so getting to know those coaches, getting to know those kids, getting to know those families, and then having a great experience here, within our locker room, within our program, day in and day out, to where guys don't want to leave, right? They want to be a part of that, and again, putting a great product in between the white lines. But yeah, you got to invest your time. You got to invest it smart, right? And you got to make sure that you're spending that time, that energy in a worthwhile and efficient manner, because there is some layers to it all. But I think it's a tremendous opportunity for our community. They've really stepped up in the NIL space through Aztec Link. There's a great campaign that we're running right now with our 100-yard challenge. We're well over $30,000 for that. And, it's great about that too. So much negative is made about the NIL space, but, like this 100-yard challenge, we've partnered with the Lucky Duck Foundation. And for, the amount of money that we're taking in, we're also going to be investing time back into the community to help those less fortunate, to get propped back up the right way. So there's a great silver lining to all of this, where I think the community and the kids are benefiting, and it's a great time to be a part of collegiate athletics.
Yeah, and it should be a lot of fun out there tomorrow with the Warrior Walk, with the tailgating at River Park out there on the grass. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. I do have a question about your coaching career, and I got this from Wikipedia, so if it's wrong, please correct me. Before coaching, you worked various jobs, including as a personal trainer and a dull office supply sales job. I want to know more about the dull office supply sales job, and if during that time, were you dreaming about getting into coaching? Like, how did you pivot there?
Yeah, I mean, right when I got done with college, right, it's like, all right, get a degree, and then what's next? So get a job, right? And so there was an office supply sale job where I was selling reams of paper and office toner. That was not great, right? But there was an opportunity that came available at my high school alma mater to jump into coaching, and it was something that, obviously being a part of the game and the impact that coaches made in my life, is something that I was really, really strongly considering and started doing, obviously. And, the bug bit me, and here we are out in beautiful sunny San Diego, right? It's taken me all over the country and back, and so fortunate for the opportunity and the journey that I've been on.
Awesome.
Well, Coach, we're all excited for this journey for you to get underway in red and black as well. Thanks for some time with us here on the Midday Show on 97.3 The Fan. We really appreciate it. Hope to catch up with you again as the season continues forward. And best of luck to the Aztecs. Can't wait to see how this thing develops under your watch.
Guys, appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Go Aztecs.